It's a beautiful day to have a conversation, and it's definitely a nice day to talk to the students of LPU. I've already received some of your questions, so I'm going to begin with answering those. And as we go about, you can mail your questions. So here we start with a very nice, beautiful name. Person is Ashish Kumar. I would actually prefer that please write down what degree, what course you are doing, so that will make some more insight into who the person is asking me the question. Ashish Kumar has questioned, what according to you would be lasting happiness? Well, it's very simple. The thing which would last eternally can give you the eternal happiness. That which is transient, that which is changeable, that which will die, that which will get deformed, that which recedes in time, that which gets diseased in time, cannot give you a lasting happiness. Let's say, for example, your favorite Bollywood actor film has come, and you receive the tickets and you are in a very good cinema hall, enjoying your popcorn and your drinks and going through the experience of, the film which you really wanted to watch for a long time. And as the movie was going along and you were being so happy, and then your phone tinkles and there's an SMS that your father is sick. So come back quickly, and that's the address of the hospital where your father has been admitted. Now, you have the same cinema hall, which is air-conditioned. You have your popcorn, you have your drinks, you have your favorite actor's movie on the big screen. And yet, now the happiness which you were experiencing has gone kaput. It's gone. Now use this analogy for everything which is in this world. Anything which is born has a timeline. Anything which has timeline is going to go through the process of growth, and then process of receding, and the process of death. This happens to buildings, to people, to eatables, and anything under the sky, comes into this very category. So when all these things have this date of birth and also have a date of death, so this means whatever you will experience because of these things or these people will be of very, very fleeting nature. Unfortunately, when we don't use our intelligence enough, and we don't observe the nature enough, and when we don't understand how the things function in this world, it's like that you have a lemon in your hand and you're squeezing it in the glass and you are praying to God that make it sweet, make it sweet, make it sweet. You tell me how many thousands or millions of times you should pray that the sourness of this lemon changes into the sweetness of jaggery or honey. Well, fundamental principles do not change, even if you pray. So this means what is transient will remain transient, what is eternal will remain eternal, what is going to be lasting will remain lasting. And that's the beauty of Vedanta. That is the ultimate philosophy of Bharat. Out of the 6 schools of philosophy, Vedanta is the one which gives you an understanding to experience the things as they are and fundamentally get to know about how anything functions, beginning from your body to mind to universe. Hence, surely the conclusion comes out is that this world cannot give you a lasting happiness. It can give you fleeting moments of pleasure, which are offshore, very divine, but it won't last because that thing or that source will not last. Hence the Vedanta says, our Upanishad says that you need to search, you need to understand. Now, to be happy is our need, right? To experience happiness is something which all of us, not only us the humans, but also the animals, the birds, all the mammals, every living sentient beings is aspiring for being happy and lasting happiness. But that can only be experienced when you find the source, which will be the lasting and the everlasting and the eternal. And that existence is of truth. Another name can be of, in Sanskrit we call it Brahm. We can also call it Atma. When I say Atma, then please do understand it doesn't mean a gory-looking form which is wearing white clothes and is floating in the air. That's all what your filmy Atmas are, but that is not what the truth is. The Atma simply means you in your real form, you in your reality. So once you understand this existence, which is everlasting, which is eternal, this will give you the roadmap to experience happiness. And this will be everlasting one. This won't be a flickering one. We move on to the next question of Shubham Singh. Do you think spirituality is a God gift? Shubham, spirituality word needs to be understood first, because in Europe it has altogether different meaning, and in India it has a very different meaning. So people have variety of meanings given to this word spirituality. Like when I was in Denmark, and I met a bunch of Europeans, and for them spirituality meant to know that they are all spirit, and the spirits live somewhere up in the stratosphere, and they are very bright and translucent colored. You know, it's a very Christian, mystical, angelic imagery which they had for a spirit. And they said that if we get to know our spirit, that's what makes us spiritual. Now, in certain sections, spirit word means, evil spirits and good spirits. Now, again, the Christian, and the Islamic, they have this idea, buri ru, achi ru. Like in India also, we have, you call them pretatma, bhutatma, achi atma, buri atma. But the truth is that spirituality word does not actually signify what I or the Vedic knowledge is going to talk about. But if the spirituality word meaning can be accepted to be as a search of truth, then I'm fine with the spirituality word. Secondly, is it a God gift? I believe we all are gifts of God, and we all have a mind, and our mind is sourced by that essential spirit or that truth. So we all are already receiving that, because if you have a mind, right? If you have a mind, and now this mind is already being energized by the divinity, so we do have this gift. It's not something that, number one, God is not a person who chooses who gets this gift or who doesn't get this gift. It's not like that. When I say God, then God in the Vedic or even in the context of Sri Guru Granth Sahib, then it means the one existence which is eternal, which is truth, which is ever blissful, and which is omniscient. Now, this omniscient word clears up so many queries, and that is, this is the one existence which is exuberating beneath every atom and every molecule in this wide universe. So everybody, all of us do have this gift. But the only thing is how many people will get exposed to this idea, to go into the search, to seek, to know. This is something, this I would call is something which is to be attempted by the individual. Now we are product of our surroundings. We are product, our mind is a product which has been conditioned by our parents, by our families, by relatives, by schools, by colleges, by all the surroundings which we have. So unfortunately, if your surrounding is all about eat, drink and be merry, mane khao, khedo te, pangde pao, then surely you will be just stuck into that zone. There's nothing wrong in that. Do eat, do drink. Please don't drink alcohol. When I say drink, then drink lassi and drink milk and drink nimbu pani. When I say dance, then yes, it can be any dance. So dance and be merry and be happy. But the thing is, as I've already said, that we all have a possibility with us. And that possibility has to be exploited. And most of us, unfortunately, are very happy in this, the very lower regime of just eating, drinking, sleeping, making money and marrying and job and children. Well, everything is good, but there is another way of growth, and that would be the vertical growth, where you grow consciously. So this is something which I believe very firmly comes with the blessings of some Mahatma, comes with the blessings of our parents. It comes with the blessings what we will be doing to ourselves. That is, I wish to seek, I wish to know. And that only comes to intelligent people. So I believe if you are intelligent, today or tomorrow, your journey is going to begin. And if you are not intelligent, then doesn't matter, you might live 80 or 100 years and yet you will be far, far away from spirituality. Moving on, we have questions from Atul Walia. If lasting happiness is not found in money, comfort, luxuries, then where it is found? I have already answered, but for your sake, Atul, your name is very, very nice, incomparable. That's what you are. So I speak again. Money gives you comfort, luxuries give you pleasure, and there is no harm in having that, but it won't last. So this understanding doesn't mean that you don't earn money, or you don't have any luxury, or you don't live your very comfy. I believe those who think that by punishing our body and senses, we will be making God happy is not a very wise thing. What is required is that while being very much in this paraphernalia, we work on raising our wisdom. And as we become wiser and as we become focused onto ourselves and we focused on the truth, this happens that being in the worldly pleasures, yet you will be very aloof. And you remain unperturbed, and you are never depressed, and you are just looking at this beautiful world with what there is a beautiful word in Hindi, in Sanskrit, and that is sakshitva. That is, then you witness what is happening. So there is no need to say that, because we want to move on the path of spirituality, now we'll have to leave the comforts and luxuries. Now you can be very comfortable, you can have the luxuries, but yet you can be a very, very adhyatmic, a very, very spiritual person. And for that, you need to study. See, now you are in a university where you are learning all about the worldly sciences, the academia, the literature, the arts, etc., etc. This is also a very deep study. And for that, we do need some great books. So for that, the Vedas, the 4 Vedas are there, the Bhagavad Gita is there. For typically Mahabharata, Ved Vyas himself said that whatever is under the sky is there in this book. And whatever is in this book, Mahabharata, is actually in the whole world. So we need to take out time. We need to make this choice. And we need to be with the company of such person who can make us go through this. And I believe the way I am now talking to you and answering your questions, this very medium and this very platform is being used nowadays very much by me, and where I'm teaching people all about the spirituality, about Adhyatma, about the Vedic sciences, about the yogic sciences. And I'm very happy that in this pandemic, one thing is very bad, people are suffering. But one thing which has come out is very good, that now everybody is questioning, what is life? What is death? Why do we die? What can we do, to survive? What kind of things we should do in our life? So they are going into some very pertinent, deeper thinking and questioning, which is, I believe, a very, very good thing. Okay, moving on. Shubham Verma has a question, why should death be so mysterious when every facet of life is open to all? Well, life is open and so is death, my dear. But to know what death is, there are two ways. One is you die and then you know what death is. And two is that you learn it with experience, with the yogic practices. And that is a very interesting adventure. You can go high up on a mountain, then you'll have to come down. You can go deep into the sea, and yet you have to one day come out of that. Similarly, you can experience death while being alive. Now, it might look very scary what I'm talking about, but let's say, I'll use the example of deep sleep. At night when you sleep, is sleeping a difficult thing? Is sleeping something which scares you? No, it doesn't. On the contrary, we all enjoy our good night cap. So sleep is like a mini death. Sleep is like that you are gone for a few hours and then you wake up. Then the sleep is gone. Death is a sleep in which you will go into it involuntarily. Nobody wants to die. So involuntarily you'll go into the death sleep, but there you don't have the liberty or the freedom to come out of that sleep. So that sleep which doesn't end is death, and that death which ends is sleep. So Mandukya Upanishad talks greatly about it. So I will say that please take out time and go deeper into these experiences of our rishis and sages, and they have put it down into the Upanishads. So if you go deeply into the yoga text and the Vedantic text, and then with the experience, surely you come to a point where you experience the death every day and you come to know that you are not a body alone. You are much, much more than this physical frame. And then death is no more a mystery, and death is no more which scares you. Death is just like a sleep. And some of my friends, obviously, sharabi ke sharabi dost, so sadhu ke sadhu dost. So I have a lot of saintly friends. So one of the Swami, he was 84 and in Rishikesh, and a very happy-go-lucky person. He had traveled on foot our country at least 3 times. 3 times I'm saying on foot. He had traveled the whole country, north to south and east to west. A very learned person. But with age, his spine had, turned down like a bow. So he had that little, quirky walk, but a very happy person. And one day he was walking by the Ganges and he collapsed and he died. Now the other sadhus who saw it quickly ran to see, and when they found that he is dead, they brought his body back to his kutia. And all the sadhus got together, and then they were just looking in his pocket, and in his pocket there was 15,000 rupees. And all the sadhus were laughing, and he said, well, he had made arrangement for his bandara. When some sadhu dies, they have a bandara. Everybody will get together and pray for some time and then eat food and celebrate actually the demise of the sadhu. So they were saying that he made arrangement of 15,000 rupees for the bandara. He was a very, very wise man. So they kind of had a celebration, and nobody is crying. Nobody is crying. When a sadhu is dying, nobody is crying. If he or she has some followers, they might mourn a bit or be sad, but then everybody understands this. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. When the body is killed or the body dies, the self doesn't die. and the one who has experienced the real self is absolutely away and beyond any fear or any scare. So death doesn't remain a mystery. Question from, I hope I'm reading right, it's Manman. It could be any, maybe it's Manman, Munmun, Manmun, can be very nice, but it's still good, whatever it is. Good and bad are the relative terms, then what should be the ultimate good? Very nicely projected. Sure, good and bad is very different in different cultures, in different civilizations. So what is ultimate good? Ultimate good is only one thing, and that is the ultimate itself is good. Now what is ultimate? Brahma is ultimate. God alone is ultimate. So I'll skip the word God. I would not like to use the word God. I would like to use the word Paramatma, because for God there's a different, I would say it has a very limited meaning to it. But when I say Paramatma, Paramatma, Paramatma. When I say Brahma, then it means the omniscient one. Then it means the truth. So it has beautiful Satchit Anand Vyapak. So 4 words of Sanskrit, 1 word becomes Brahm. And that's very beautiful word. So I like to keep the word Brahm in my conversation. So Brahm is ultimate, and so is this knowledge. So those who are lucky to experience and to know and to realize Brahm, they know what the ultimate is, and that's the ultimate good. Rest, it's all separate in every continent, every country, every religion. They have a very different definition to what is good and what is bad. Khushi has question. How to control anger? Well, your name is Khushi, then very simple answer for you is be khush all the time. Then why would you be angry? When you can't be khush, meaning happy, only then you are, angry. And problem is that your khushi, your happiness, if it's dependent on people, like so-and-so should say good comments to me, so-and-so should give me some gift, so-and-so should give me surprise party, and nobody is doing that, you will be unhappy. When our mind demands something and it doesn't get it, our mind is very angry. So the easy way to be in a zone where there is no anger, if you can do, and that is don't expect anything from anyone. Easy. This removes all the burden, this removes all the baggage of expectation from anybody. And just live your life and do your studies properly and groom yourself nicely. Be a good person, be a better person. Maybe nobody realizes that you are good, so what? Every morning when you look at the mirror, say to yourself, you are good. You are good. This is a very American thing. When I am in US, some of my disciples, they have this habit of saying, oh, it's good. They keep on saying it, oh, it's good, whether it's food or my discourse or the clothing or the weather, they're always repeating this statement. It's good. So I say it's good. So take this mantra and say to yourself, I am good. Now, don't keep it a very superficial statement. Keep on working on it to be good. When you are happy, when you are wise, when you are conscious, when you are an awareful person, surely you are good. And this inner goodness will give you joy all the times, and nothing else can actually give you joy. Nana, do you think one's future can be changed by some rituals? Absolutely not. I know this is not a very, very likable statement, what I'm saying is. And because I have so many disciples and I have been visiting Punjab, so That if we do such rituals, our life become a big relief. It's a big relief, big relief. It's a big consolation. So everybody thinks that if we do such big relief, it's a big consolation. Big relief, it's a big consolation. So everybody thinks that if we do such rituals, our life become easier in coming times. I have a different take on it. It's my opinion. You might not like it, but that's the opinion coming from the roots of the Vedic understanding, and that is that nothing comes bad in our life without a reason. And the reason is my own past karma. And nothing comes good in my life without a reason. Reason again is my karma. So if my karma have been bad, surely the fruit of dukkha in form of disease or sickness or losses or deaths or breakage, breakage of marriage, breakage of household, breakage of business, these all things might come. So in astrological language, we say rog, ripu, rin. In just 3 R, all the things are covered. Rog, diseases, ripu is enemies, and rin is loans. Most of the times, these are the reasons why people are very, very unhappy and very miserable. So do you think so that just use the logic that you do really something bad you have done. And now as a fruit of that, the loss, the disease, the loan, the debt has come on your head. And if just by throwing sesame seed, the black sesame seed, kale til in running water, or black coals, shani ka upay kar do. I know many people will not like it, but allow me to say it. See, that belief, that if I will throw these black coals, black sesame, or thing in the running water, my pains will go away. If this gives you happiness, please do it. But from the context of the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. We have a right on our actions, but we don't have any right or authority on the fruits of those actions. Those will come in time. The best thing is, pray every day. Sit down. Do your jap every day. Say, for example, do Om Namah Shivaya jap every day. Maybe sit down for 15 minutes, maybe for 30 minutes, and have a deep breath. Cleanse your mind with deep breathing for, say, 5-10 minutes. And then humming Om Namah Shivaya for some time, or you can choose Vaheguru mantra, or you can choose the Mool mantra, whatever you like, I have no problem in that. Whatever your faith allows you, whatever your religion allows you, with great respect and surrender and devotion, do your mantra every day. Be a good person, do good things, and whatever, hard times come in your life, be tolerant, be patient, be responsible that I must have done something wrong. I give you one small story. One of my sadhu friend, when anybody would come to meet him, like say, we both are sitting and talking, and then the disciple says that so-and-so has come to see you. Swamiji would say, oh, some prarabdha has come today. Either this person will bring me goodness, or this person will bring me some bad things, or maybe I will be good for him, or maybe I will be bad for him. So a prarabdha, the destiny has brought two of us, facing one another. And let it be, whatever it is. So be wise, be strong, and don't be dependent on just these small-time consolations. Yeah. Be a stronger person. Urvi has a question. If one witnesses some supernatural phenomenon, could it be real or just an imagination? Well, because there is no explanation to this, what you are talking about, so I really cannot comment on that, what supernatural phenomenon you have watched. I don't wish to say that it doesn't happen, and I don't wish to say that it does happen all the times. But I do wish to say this also, that sometimes our mind can play the games. Like in dreams, you see the whole new world, which is not real. But at that time, that is real. So sometimes, even in the waking state, the mind can play same game and give you some projections or some hallucinations or some visions might happen, which might seem to you that it is some paranormal activity which has happened, but actually it was just your own mind. Yeah, our mind has that ability to give us these kind of very eerie and very quirky experiences. So it's yes and it's no, and I don't know what you have experienced. So just be little, I would say, more calmer and wiser in your mind. Do some mantra jap, sit down to do some pranayam, and then maybe analyze. You yourself can actually understand what the thing actually happened. We have question from Nikita. Do you think there is a power beyond science? My dear Nikita, when you say science, then your science is not even 3 or maybe 350 years old, nothing more than that. The Western science I'm talking about. Even if I take a long, large leap, then maybe up till, you can say, 12th century, where some people started thinking about what's happening around us and how these things are happening and what are the... But lately, 16th century, 17th and 18th, more in the 19th century. So this science, which you call, is a very new baby, which is still learning to crawl. So don't make too much out of this science. You know, the most intelligent quantum physicist these days in West, in Europe, US, in all these countries, all these physicists, we can actually consider them as the most intelligent. And they have today a lobby in which is saying that what we see is real is actually not real. And what we see as unreal might be real. So we really don't know what is real and what is unreal. So those physicists are actually coming much closer to the Vedantic philosophy, where the Adi Shankaracharya says, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Brahma is Satya, Jagat is Mithya, an illusion. And the quantum physicist today is saying even this little close to this term, not exactly same, but they are now asking the question, what is consciousness? How is this consciousness working? What is this world? Is this real? Or it's unreal? This body which you are calling as me, is it real or is it unreal? What you saw in the dream seemed real, but when you wake up it was unreal. And what is real, the real world? When you go into sleep, this becomes unreal. So what is real and what is unreal is pretty fuzzy. It's very, very fuzzy. So what you say is science. It's just observation of the elemental functioning of this universe. And what is beneath these molecular structures? What is beneath this atomic structure? That surely is beyond science. And our Vedanta talks all about this. So sometimes I say, where your science ends, Vedanta begins. And I really hope that I'm again and again talking about Vedanta, and I really hope that all of you students should give some time to go deeper into this, what I'm talking about, what this Vedanta is, And then you will come to know, oh, the science, what we thought was so tricky and hard and arduous and difficult, is actually nothing in front of that. I'm not undermining science. I have a great scientific aptitude, but I have aptitude for both inner and the outer. The usual science is just concerned about the outer, not about the inner. The yogis have been very concerned about the inner. They tried to compartmentalize, like the Ayurvedacharya would be very keen about outer and bit about inner, like the mind. And an alchemist would be concerned about just the chemicals. And a Vedantic seer or a Vedantic sage would be concerned about more about the inner and then also about the outer, and which creates a beautiful balance. So that's why I always say, be a rishi, be a yogi. And then you will understand what science is, and then you'll also understand what is beyond the science. What would you suggest to those who usually run life over the race of time and make it whole a rat race? Question is from Diksha. Well, Diksha, those who are running the rat race, you have already called them rat, not me. Rats are not my audience, so I have nothing to say for them. Maybe another rat who is very wise can say something to them. I talk to human beings, and I talked about the human capabilities and human weaknesses and how to come out of that. What you call rat race is just like racing after the bubble. And there are beautiful colors in the bubble. When the sun rays cross that bubble, there's beautiful, 6-7 colors get, you can see those colors. The light gets divided and we can see those colors. But if you race after those bubbles and you think, I'll get ultimate joy out of this bubble, well, that's called rat race. One should not be a rat, and then one will never be in a rat race. Be a human, then you will not be part of that. Be wise, that is what being human is. We have question from Kritika Thakur. What is the sign and symptom of good health? Nice. Sign and symptom of good health is that you are not even aware of your body. It's there, functioning very well, but you are not aware. Aware in the sense, see, when you have pain in your finger, then whole day you are reminded of your finger. If you have pain in your stomach, you are reminded of your stomach. If you have pain in your head, then whatever is happening around you, you won't be able to pay attention to that because your mind is totally on the headache or stomach ache or foot ache or toothache or whatever ache. These aches are which talks about that something is wrong. What is disease? When you are in dis-ease, that is disease. So when your ease is gone, disease is there. And when your ease is there, you are perfectly healthy. We can say like this, that if you have a very good hunger, Ayurveda says you are healthy. If you have very good sleep, Ayurveda says you are very healthy. And if you can relieve yourself, meaning poop in time and urinate in time, and for women, her menstrual cycle is coming on time, Ayurveda says you are absolutely healthy. And if either of these three things are not functioning, something is wrong. And in long time, if this problem stays, then this develops into congenital diseases in your body. So that should be the case, that your body is not troubling you. So you sleep well, you eat well, you drink well, you poop well, you're all well, so you're a very, very healthy person. Alisha Khatri has a question. What does it mean to live in the present moment? Being in present moment is that when you see, I'll say like this, say somebody is walking. If a person slips and falls on his back, this is an injury. And if person falls on his face, bang on the floor, then the injuries will happen on the frontal part of the body. And if you don't fall back or in the front, then you are absolutely fine. So being present is you don't fall in the past, meaning you don't think about what happened in the past, and you don't fall in the future, what is going to happen tomorrow. Hypothetical. Like these days, all the students are very worried because studies are not happening from last 4.5 months, and online studies are there, but is it actually helping everybody or not? Is something, is bothering many people, and how well we will perform, how well we are getting actually educated about, our courses. This is something which is really worrisome. And what happens is when you worry too much about the future, you are falling in the front, so you are getting injured. Being in present means neither thinking about past and nor the future, and just staying bang into the present moment. So what's the present moment? This 1 second, or should I say this 100th part of 1 second, or maybe millionth part of the second, is actually the present moment. Present is very, very microscopically small. And usually our mind is just racing here and there, jumping here and there, and we are missing on to what's happening in my present. So being aware of whatever is occurring in your body, in your breath, and in your mind, and how you are observing all these three actually helps you to be in the present moment. We have very interesting question from Urvi Kathuria. How to balance between spirituality and our personal life? Very easy. Have a schedule. Have a schedule for yourself. Draw it down today itself that you will wake up. I don't know what time you wake up, but make a point. For example, I would say wake up at 5:30 a.m. Take a bath. Be fresh. Do your asanas. Sit down, do pranayam. And by 8, I think so, you will be done. Then prepare the breakfast. Eat your breakfast. You're a student, so now you should better sit down and study. And study for, say, like 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever you wish to do. And or maybe take a little small 5-minute, 10-minute break in between, say 2 hours, every 2 hours. And then after 6 hours, take a long break, rest a while, eat a bit. If it is raining, I would say go out and have a bath in the rain, have a cup of chai, and have a chit-chat with your family, maybe do cleaning, maybe do some little chores. And then take out some time in the evening again where you sit down and do some pranayam and maybe start reading of Bhagavad Gita. We have our application called Amrit Varsha, A-M-R-I-T, Amrit Varsha, V-A-R-S-H-A. My Amrit Varsha app has all of my books, all my audios and videos from, I would say, last 20 years. My work is present in this app, so you can go in the app, read Bhagavad Gita, read commentary on Japji Sahib, maybe read commentary on Rera Sahib, maybe read commentary on Guru Gita, and there are the talks on yoga and yoga nidra, and the list goes on. I don't wish to go into the whole. So if we can have a schedule and we follow that, obviously in my schedule you won't be doing hanky-panky stuff. I always say maybe take a half an hour and do your gupshup if you wish to do with your friends or your family members. But don't waste your time too much. Even doing gupshup is good, it's called bonding. It's called bonding. It's actually relieving yourself from the pressures of thinking, what your head was experiencing. You're just putting it on to the another person. And sometimes the another person can have some very wise, suggestions. And then you should again focus on yourself. Again, I would say, have your dinner and then go back to bit of study and then thank Lord for a beautiful day and then have a nice, good sleep. wake up again, do. It's just an example. So if you have a schedule, then you can definitely, surely have nice adhyatmic practices along with your job or your student working hours, whatever you have. You can definitely make a nice balance out of it. Preet Atwal. We always try to be good at every place and every time, yet still we do get offended. Is there something that God wants to tell us? But God wants to tell you only this, that be happy and don't try to please everybody and don't be offended. Why be offended? See, somebody is, say, very short in height. And there are 10 and 20 people who might make fun of him or her. Now, but the person says that I am a small packet with a big bombastic energy in me and God created me like this, so what the heck? So enjoy being short or tall or fat or slim. Enjoy being fair. Don't go after, being fair. Don't go after those skin whitening creams. Just be who you are. So if you are black or brown or yellow or pale or very fair, whatever the skin tone is, accept it and enjoy it. See the nature. No plant, no tree is fighting or competing that why am I not a rose? Why I am a tulip and why I am just a marigold? Why can't I be fuchsia? No flower is comparing. No flower is expecting anything from anyone. So that should be ideally our approach too. So you won't be offended because we expect others to respect us and love us all the times, and people can be very nasty, very, very, very nasty and bad. So that's what